Hi guys. Somebody say 2 videos in a day. Okay. Look at me. Um anyways, yeah, I'm back again with another video. And this is something I want to talk about of recent news. About 2 days ago, I believe, or was it gosh, help me. I think it was 2 days ago. The legendary Kanya King passed away. And Kanya King is the founder of MOBOs, as in the MOBO Awards in the UK. And MOBOs is music of black origin, which is basically celebrating black music in the UK. And she passed. If I'm going to be completely honest, with the congregation, I did not know who she was until 2 days ago. That's bad. Yes, on my part, I should have known. However, there is something I feel missing in the UK that needs to be spoken about that could help people like myself know more about her and know about other people making transformations, innovations in the UK. So let's get into it. For those that don't know me, my name is Temi Lope. I also go by Temi Lope. I am a concert producer, and my mission is to exhibit music in a grand and glamorous way that reminds us of how great we are in the UK. We need more stages, we need more physical platforms that show the creativity that we have, that allows the connection that we need in this country, you know? So today I want to talk about Kanya King. I want to talk about things that I've really kind of thought about since her passing and just things of that nature. So let's get into it. Again, I didn't know her story. I didn't know who she was until she passed. And you know that meme that people say like, oh, that not people say, but that meme that is the Romans said the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
The Egyptians believed the most significant thing you could do in your life was die.
I'm not laughing. I'm sorry. But do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of things, people that have done great things in the world, a lot of them are only really discovered when they pass. If I was to name some people that I did not really know until they died, it's absolutely bad. Or at least know the depth of what they did until they died. I didn't know. Is a bit crazy. And Kanya King is unfortunately one of them. And I feel this is something that we need in the UK, where there needs to be a new way of storytelling, especially of black history in the UK. Diverse history in the UK, the storytelling needs to really be worked on. The US are amazing at it. And Africa back in the day as well. Like, whether it's through fashion, whether it's through shows, whether it's through books, all these different things. And I feel those kind of things are important because it allows us to connect with people on just a regular level. A lot of the time we have all these stories of like people from the black and white days, like Charlie Chaplin, or like the first black actor in America, for example. All these people that are from generations ago, but we don't have much stories of like Harriet Tubman, things like that, or Rosa Parks. But we don't have people that are literally lived in the same economy as us and have done great things and have stories told about their legacy and the impact that they've had. Like when she passed, Kanya King, when she passed, MOBOs made a caption and mentioned in it that she remortgaged her house. A single mother of about 3 kids, I think, remortgaged her house to initiate the MOBOs because people wouldn't look into it, or like the execs wouldn't look into it. And we'll get into that part soon. I'm going to talk about that. But she remortgaged her house. Like, in the UK, to do those kind of things, it's not normal. We're a very conservative country. We're very much just stay in your lane. Just do what's expected of you. You don't have to go crazy, like, just chill, just face your work. Go and get a job in Liverpool Street or Canary Wharf or whatever. and call it a day. You know, very laid back. But the people that are risk takers, the people that are like, I need to do this by any means necessary kind of people, not fraud. Sorry, I'm not endorsing that. But any other means by necessary, any other means necessary, yeah. We need more storytelling of that in like people that take risks. Because we're looking for those people now. We're looking for people that, who's going to do this new thing? We're looking for the next big thing. We're looking for the next Adele. We're looking for the next Michael Jackson, the next Sade, all these different things. These people took risks. And we don't really know their story that much. And it's important for us to know. It doesn't matter how big this risk is. It doesn't matter how big their step was. We need to know, because it can initiate a next generation to make even more moves, to be even more daring in the face of normalcy, in the face of those that will say you shouldn't do it that way. Because that's what I grew up with. If anything, I don't know about you, but that's what I grew up with. Like, don't do what people are not doing, you know, for like, just fit in, stop trying to stick out like a sore thumb kind of thing. We need more sore thumbs. We need them. So yeah, let's not wait until people die to really understand who people are. And the labels are great. I think she has like a CBE or something. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what that is. Gonna be honest, it doesn't mean that much to me. To me. I'm not talking about the world, I'm talking about me. Does it mean that much to me? Because I don't know what you have done. You can get a master's. As people have said this, you can get the masters, you can get the PhDs. As Mike Todd says, more degrees than a thermometer. But if I don't know, if I've not benefited from anything that you've done, what's my business to care? I'm going to be honest, okay? Please don't hurt me. But yeah, I didn't know who she was, and I wish I did before she died, so that I could understand her more and really just see what she's doing. But I guess I can more now see what she's done. So that's just that. And speaking of the fact that she remortgaged her house, this is no small thing. No be small thing, like nothing small to be remortgaging your house, your livelihood. You're putting your livelihood on the edge here a little bit to be doing that. For the sake of a vision, especially in the beginning days. She was told that no one was going to invest in this. She was told that black music is too risky. See, saying that today sounds dumb. Saying that black music is risky today sounds dumb because of the world we live in right now. We literally had an article that came out a few months ago in the UK saying that 80%, not 50, not 30, 80% of revenue from music in the UK is from black music. And they were saying back then that black music is too risky. Where more time, the next thing you're going to do after saying that is go and listen to someone that had music originate from black music. Okay. She had that vision, and at the beginning days she went all in. But those beginning days are risky, because even she could have gotten into her head and said, oh, I don't know, maybe they're right, because, you know, they know what they're doing, isn't it? We'll get into that. But she could have gotten into her head and been like, oh, no one understands this, I guess it's not really profitable. But I'm looking at my notes, sorry. She really took that leap of faith to make that move, to make that culture, to transform culture with the MOBOs. And now it's gone from this thing of no one really thinks it's going to be successful to almost every social media almost every influencer management company is looking to get their influencer into the MOBO Awards every year. Brands are trying to sponsor influencers to go to the MOBO Awards that they said was not going to be successful in. How many artists from the US have flown in for the MOBO Awards from Africa? They've done the MOBO Awards in Royal Albert Hall. Obviously, it's not going to be there. It's not going to end up in that kind of situation overnight. But she had to make the step. And it's really encouraging for me to see, like, people look down on her. Execs, people that are said to know what they're doing, look down on her. But she was like, nah, I'm going to run with it. And now we've got the MOBO Awards that we got today. They celebrated about 30 years this year, like for the MOBO Awards this year, which is amazing. Like 30 years ago, this was a risk. We thank God for longevity. And it brings me back to the Bible when it talks about never despising the beginning days. Never look down on just when you're starting, you know, because if it's really of substance, if it's really of something with value, it will last. And you will celebrate 30 years, and you will celebrate 50 years. You will celebrate 100 years, you know, if it comes from the right roots. And MOBOs is a testament of that, honestly, which is amazing. Final thing I want to talk about with the MOBOs, which I just can't let, is one of my favorite topics because I'm no respecter of persons. I am no respecter of persons. I don't care what name you have. I don't care how long you've been in the business. I don't care how many degrees you have, what person you've worked with. I don't care. I don't care, because when it comes to the label, when it comes to music labels, they think they know what they're doing. Most time they don't. They don't. They honestly don't. And if you're from the label listening to this right now, I'm so sorry. I'm saying this with all humility again, because I'm not even like trying to bash you or anything. I'm not trying to bash music execs. But every day, in just the culture of music period, they are always trying to look for the next Adele. They want to look for the next Michael Jackson. They want to look for the next Beyonce. They want to look for the next Prince or something. Like they're just looking for the next of something that's been done, because all they can really use is historical data. And that's what is their restriction. That's their limitation in this game. They are limited by historical data. However, they are in an industry that is not based on historical data. It is based on creativity. It is it's meant to be based on originality. It's meant to be based on innovation. But they want to stick to what has been done. That literally goes against the whole industry. So when it came to Kanya King making a risk on it was a risk, taking that leap of faith to launch the MOBOs, the execs were like, nah, I don't think it's going to work. Black music is too risky, blah, blah, blah. Again, historical data. They can only go for that. They can only go with that. And these stories are they're not unique to her. You see things like this in music. For example, Rock Nation, Jay-Z. When Jay-Z was launching his career in rap, he was told no by so many record labels. The record labels that he went to, they never gave him a record deal. And so he initiated his own thing, created Rockefeller with his friends, and that now led to the Rock Nation that we have today. The legendary Rock Nation that we have today. And on top of that, Jay-Z also consults for the Super Bowl halftime. He's the one that is like heading the initiation of whatever artist is going to come on to perform. And I had a video that went kind of viral on my page, relative to my page, about how I loved Bad Bunny's Super Bowl set. As someone that doesn't even listen to like Latin music, I don't know what the genre is called, but yeah, I never really associate myself in listening to Bad Bunny and artists of that nature, but I love that show. Why? Because it made sense and it was genuinely good music. And coming up to that time, not to deviate, but that was a time where people were like, Bad Bunny, like, well, I mean, okay, I don't know. People were like, I don't know, da 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 da. And Jay-Z made a comment saying like, something about they like it. Don't listen to the people. They like Bad Bunny, and it's talking about the fact that it's kind of reflecting the fact that he has an ear to the ground. He knows what the people want. He knows what the people like, and therefore give the people what they need. You know, and the execs don't have that. They don't know. They are forever getting consultants. That's why we have consultants. That's why we have cultural consultants, because they don't know. And it's fine to not know, but don't act like as if you have the answers. That's the problem that I have with the corporate side of the music industry. Don't act like you have the answers. Don't be prideful in that sense, because that's when you're now keeping yourself from these blessings, you know. Chicken Shop Date by Amelia de Moldenberg. She said she pitched Chicken Shop Date to multiple broadcasters, I believe, and they all said no. And what was that quote? What's that quote? I like memes, but I'm not on social media like that much. Basically, they all neglected her. And now they're all calling. They are all calling. Now that she's done Chicken Shop Date by herself, everybody's now calling her saying, the broadcasters are like, oh, can we buy? What's the price? Can we buy the licenses for Chicken Shop Date? The same one that you neglected, the same one that you rejected, you now want to buy. They don't know. They don't know. They'd rather catch on the wave once it's blown. So I have this quote that I use when I made my show, Unwind and Grind, which is like an online show where I bring artists I genuinely feel like are so good, but their time in the commercial sense has not come yet. I say, hear them now before the world catches up. Because that's really what it is. That's really what it is. It's not like as if everything is bad because it's not reached a level of commercial success, or it's not in the big studios and the big rooms. People have just not caught on yet. It's only a matter of time until they catch on. And that was the sake for Rock Nation. That was the sake for Chicken Shop Day. And that was the sake for the MOBOs. She launched the MOBOs by herself. Now she's licensing that thing to be broadcasted on what's the word? Is it Channel 4 or Channel 5 or something? But that's no small thing to be able to put your show that they rejected on national TV. And it's recognized as a proper, like, this is the MOBOs, you know? Like, not like I don't know if I would say, it's not like as if I'm meant to compare, but the MOBOs stands in its own rightful place in the UK and is respected. That was not the thing when it first started out. So I feel it's so important to not listen to these execs. Again, if you're listening and you're an exec, I'm sorry, but this is just the truth. There needs to be a level of risk taking, but it's not always a risk when you know it works, when you know it's reflecting the world we live in, but we're just not seeing that on mainstream. And that's what I'm doing with my shows. That's what I'm doing with my concert. Like, though it's not mainstream doesn't mean it doesn't work. Even though it's literally like, I've grown up in church. I know what it's like when it comes to church music, when it comes to when they have praise and worship, for example, or R&B. Or going to a concert, like, yes, I'm not like a professional or anything, but I am the audience member that these execs are trying to appease. So I know what I like, I know what people like me like, and therefore I'm going to execute what people like me will listen to. That's how Rock Nation started. Jay-Z was talking about in an interview how he got into music. He started making himself better at his raps because he wanted to retell a holiday that he went on with his friends, and he wanted it to be like so cool because the holiday was so cool, so he wanted to make it like so cool and make it like so that his friends like really like it. It's about the audience at the end of the day. We are not in this industry for execs. They are there to serve the audience. No matter how high in the sky you want to be in a skyscraper, you are there for the person walking down the street. If the person walking down the street is your audience and they don't like it, your job is on the line. Your job is on the line. You need to make sure you're doing what the audience need or asks for or like. Again, the audience doesn't even know everything. But to find people that align with the audience and give them what they will like is where success comes, is where longevity comes from. And Kanya King is a clear example. Clear example. The black community in the UK is rich in talent, rich in culture, rich in diverse sounds, and therefore she made a stage for it. And that stage has not died. The stage is still there because the people are still there. She knows the people she's catering towards. And execs need to understand the importance of bringing the people that are actually their audience to be doing, like, I hope I'm making sense because I can ramble about this and like now lose my train of thought. But all I'm trying to say is that it's so important for the right risk to be taken on what works, what will work. That doesn't sound like a good roundup. I'm gonna get better at this. But yeah. Cultural relevance is something that the corporate world misses. I don't want to name some music conferences, but cultural relevance is what the music industry misses out on a lot. And it takes the right people like Kanya King, like Jay-Z, like Amelia de Moldenberg to bring that culture to the forefront and therefore create a connected audience. Connected, because we are all listening to this thing because we all love it for like similar reasons. Chicken Shop Date is based on Morley's. I grew up with Morley's around me. Like, I'm from like South Londonish. Yeah. So I know Morley's. Morley's is the weirdest place to ever go on a date, respectfully. So to make a show about that, of our everyday life, but bring celebrities into it, that's the catch. That's the catch right there. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Kanya King's death is very unfortunate, but it really did arise like these thoughts in me that I just really wanted to share. And I hope this starts a conversation of something new, something new in the UK. And yeah. And again, as much as I talk about these things, I'm not just talking, I'm also doing my part in my sphere, in my corner of the world, to bring transformation, innovation in live music. And that's what I'm all about. So yeah, I hope to see you in another video. I'm gonna go now. Hope you have a good day. All right. Bye.